Hello, Ocean. My name is Josh A. Blair, and I am your guest commentator for the Montreal Milotics. Welcome to WPL. Your Montreal Milotics are currently 0-1 going into Week 2. Unfortunately, as we take on the Rio Rufflets, coached by Ches Ben. Be sure to go check him out in the description below. And while you are scrolling down there, don't forget to enter the comment question of the day. What is your favorite? Which Rain Abuser is your favorite? I'm sorry. No Megas, no Mega Swampert, unfortunately. However, mine is Kingdra. I've used Rain one time in League format, and I had a Kingdra on it, and it was beautiful. Kingdra is ridiculously powerful, and I soloed a Milotic with it twice, and it is absolutely amazing. Anyway, for those who are confused, Mr. Matt O'Shea, Mr. Thunderwave is currently on vacation, and he has asked a few of his friends to step in for him and commentate some of his games for his videos, so he does not get behind. If you don't know me, I'm typically the coach of the New York Metagross or the Philadelphia Soldew, and you've probably seen me on his channel many times getting thunderwaved by Mr. Matt. Just a little jab at him as he takes that jab at me all the time. Anyway, let us get into this game. We are taking on, like I said, Ches Ben, coach of the Montreal Milotics. Oh, I'm fake coach of the Montreal Milotics. Wow. We're taking on the Rio Rufflets. So, Matt played this game a while ago, and now I am commentating it for him. So if I say we, I mean Matt. Just a thing that I'm so used to. I don't know if I can break that habit. Anyway, Rio Rufflets. We are looking at a team of Z-Mew. We are looking at Superior, Slowbro, Klefki, Z Star, Persian Alola, Licky Licky, Mega Pinsir, Garchomp, which is also a Z-Mon user, Rotom Heat, Hitmonlee, and Diancie. So, very scary team that we are looking down. Mega Pinsir is, of course, a very big threat. Mew is, of course, the most versatile one of the most versatile mons in the game. He has offensive threats like Garchomp. He has Tapu Koko switch-ins in Mew and Rotom Heat. He has Hitmonlee, which could be a decent threat depending on what ended up being brought. But you can already see what is, in fact, is being brought. Superior is always a threat, especially for a rain team. However, we do have the Mega Scizor here. If you do not know Matt's team, we have Z Tapu Koko, we have Hawlucha, Nidoking, Alolan Marowak, Z Star Zoroark, Kecleon, Pelipper Gothitelle, Z Ludicolo Lantern, Scarf Lantern, and Mega Scizor. So, real quick, let's go over this team before we jump into this battle. Of course, all teams are built by Matt. I have never seen this team because he won't let me in his front office. He's afraid. He's afraid. Anyway, we have a Tapu Koko, especially offensive, with Thunderbolt U-turn for momentum just against stuff like the Garchomp, of course, not wanting to get Volt Switch blocked. We have Hidden Power Rock for the Rotom Heat, which is arguably his best switch-ins to the Tapu Koko. Of course, he does have Mew, which can kind of handle it to an extent. Of course, it has to be physically or especially defensive based on what Ches Ben thought would predict Matt to bring. But we have Hidden Power Rock for that, as well as the Mega Pinsir. I mean, if it's possible that there's a reason to click Hidden Power Rock, you can click it for Mega Pinsir. But we also have Dazzling Gleam, which is there for, of course, the Garchomp, as well as the Superior. As it is Stab, it does the same amount of damage to both of them as Hidden Power Ice would. So, of course, we don't have Hidden Power Ice, we have Hidden Power Rock. Anyway, we have an Alolan Marowak, physically offensive with Shadow Bone, Fire Punch, Stealth Rock, and Earthquake, rocking out with Thip Club and the Lightning Rod. Very good switch into the Rotom Heat. My personal opinion, when I saw this matchup, when I saw the 6 mons that each of them brought, I immediately thought that Rotom Heat would have Dark Pulse, Pain Split, Volt Switch, and Overheat. So, third, we have Rip Ride Rocket, Mega Scizor. We have a kind of bulky offensive Mega Scizor. I won't go into his spread, but he does have Bullet Punch, U-turn, Swords Dance, and Roost. Very good threat against his team. I very much like this as because the first 3 mons that he has brought all kind of have the same switching and stuff like Rotom Heat, thus being able to wear that thing down slowly over time and eventually get overpowered, which is very nice. Anyway, this also helps weaken down Klefki for maybe something like the Ludicolo being able to do work, because Prankster Thunderwave would be very detrimental to that. Very much is unfortunate for Matt that Thunderwave might come back and bite him in the butt. We have a Pelipper with Damp Rock. Of course, it's rain. Of course, you're going to bring the Damp Rock. We have a Scald. We have a Hurricane. We have a Roost. And we have exactly one Defog. Just kidding. We have multiple. Anyway, Pelipper, of course, here to set up the rain for Ludicolo. Ludicolo can absolutely destroy his team if the circumstances are right. We have the Waturium Z. on the Ludicolo, which is going to be, of course, specially offensive with Surf, Giga Drain, Hydro Pump, and Ice Beam. Hydro Pump and Surf being there because Hydro Pump with the Water EMC is going to do more, and Surf is there in case, in case he doesn't want to miss. And then finally we have Zoroark with the Dread Plate, specially offensive, but does have the low kick along with Dark Pulse, U-Turn, and Hidden Power Rock for the Mega Pinsir, but kind of also for the Rotom Heat, maybe, except not really because Dread Plate boosted Dark Pulse is going to do more. Overall, Coco obliterates his team. He does have those 2 switch-ins. Marowak is really good because being able to switch into Rotom Heat, which is his best Tapu Koko answer. He has Mega Scizor for Mega Pinsir. Overall, he has Rain. He has the Zoroark in the back, which is good for mind games. Overall, very much like what Matt has brought. Now then, let us get into this game. As you can see on your screen, Ben has decided to bring the Mega Pinsir, the Rotom Heat, the Hitmonlee, the Klefki, the Garchomp, and the Serperior. I will be going over, as this battle progresses, what my thoughts are for seeing this battle for, I think, like the 5th time. But anyway, for mainly the first time, immediately I see a Mega Pinsir, I see Swords Dance, I see Return, or Double Edge, or some kind of, maybe Facade. I see Quick Attack, and then finally I see potentially Close Combat, but more likely Earthquake for the Tapu Koko, and then of course it hits Mega Scizor as well. We have Rotom Heat, like I said, I immediately think Overheat, Volt Switch, probably Dark Pulse or Hex, maybe a status move in the last slot. Could be, I don't know, Wisp, it could be Toxic, it could be a Pain Split, it could be Defog. Hitmonlee kind of strikes me as weird. I'm not really sure what immediately could be. We do see later what it is. I think it could be Life Orb, but that would be really scary. He does have, Matt does have the Alolan Marowak there, which is top hike jump kick. However, a Reckless boosted hike jump kick, other than the Alolan Marowak, has no switch-ins on this team. Even Pelipper, I believe, is 2 KO'd. Klefki, I immediately see it. I see Thunder Wave, I see Spikes, I see Especially Defensive, I see able to take Flamethrowers from the Zoroark in the rain. I see Fearful of a Marowak. Garchomp, I immediately notice that this is only Rocker. I see potential for SD, however, I also see maybe Assault Talk 3 attacks, bulky offensive, and then Serperior, I just see a threat. I see a threat with Hidden Power Fire. I see a threat with maybe the Assault Vest to be able to take in on something like Ludicolo. So anyway, let's jump into this battle. Matt O'Shea for his Ocean. Whoa, I am sorry. Let us try that again. Matt O'Shea is going to lead off with his, whoa, that is still going really, let's try that again. Matt O'Shea is going to lead off with his, Zoroark disguised as his Alolan Marowak, hoping that the Rotom will stay in. And, of course, he's going to be able to get off just a little bit of damage with the Dark Pulse. Then he's going to reveal, of course, that's going to be especially defensive Rotom Heat. And now Matt has him just where he wants him. He's going to go ahead and U-turn out. And we're going to see the real Marowak come out, predicting a Volt Switch, which is beautiful, as it's going to kind of be immediately revealed that this Rotom cannot do anything to this Marowak. He's going to go for Pain Split, trying to get a little bit of recovery off. However, that's not going to matter, as we're about to take a huge chunk out of there with the Shadow Bone, boosted, of course, by the Fit Club. And now a Pain Split's going to come off again, as Matt's going to take this as his opportunity to get up rocks, even though he could have just Shadow Boned and immediately taken this thing out of the game and thus opened the door for Coco. Perfectly fine. I agree with his play as well. Rocks are very good against this team. So, you're going to see the Klefki come out on the second Shadow Bone, and it's going to take a huge chunk. And all it's going to be able to do is set up one little spike before the second Shadow Bone is going to be able to kill it. And down goes Klefki, which is very nice for the Ludicolo. So, we see Garchomp come out. We see Garchomp, of course, being a threat, and we're going to go ahead and get out of there. And Matt is going to bring in his Pelipper, of course, able to take on the Earthquake. And if this Garchomp decides to go for Stealth Rocks, as you're going to see it is going to do on this next turn, Matt is going to be able to defog them away, even on that same turn, and getting a lot out of said turn. Now, of course, Matt can now go for a Scald or a Hurricane, more likely Scald, as it is rain boosted against his Garchomp and get some huge damage off on it. And Garchomp is going to go for the Dragon Claw, getting a crit and doing a decent amount of damage to his Pelipper. Unfortunate, however, not really too important. He's going to be able to take another one. He's going to be able to roost off all the damage and then probably defog the next turn. However, Ben is going to take this as an opportunity to bring in his Rotom Heat, thus threatening out this Pelipper. However, unfortunately for Ben, Matt still has this perfect Rotom Heat counter in his Marowak and is going to be able to bring it out and once again put his Stealth Rocks up, I believe. No, he's going to Shadow Bone. He's going to Shadow Bone. He's going to finish off the Garchomp, which is, again, very good. Something to note is that I believe Shadowbone makes contact, and there was no Rocky Helmet damage or Rough Skin, so that tells us that he was potentially Sandvale. Anyway, Ben's going to bring in the threat that is the Mega Pincer, and Matt has to take a sack, and unfortunately, the Zoroark is going to go down, which I agree with. Of course, Hitmonlee's right there, could probably have come in at any time that I wanted to, just to come in and click Reckless High Jump Kick, so I can very much see where he's coming with that. Matt's going to bring in his Pelipper to defog away these hazards. He can still set up Stealth Rocks anytime he wants on this Rotom Heat, as long as Ben does not pull a double. And Ben just does exactly that, for trying to prevent the rocks from Matt. And he's going to double to his Mega Pincer as Matt goes into the Marowak. So, Ben's going to fire off an Earthquake here, predicting maybe the Tapu Koko to come out or the Alolan Marowak to stay in and try and get a kill on either of them. As Matt's going to bring in his Pelipper to get off damage with the Scald on this Pincer, as it is able to take a return due to it being physically defensive. Now Matt's going to bring out the Tapu Koko, making the big offensive play, and now Ben's in the bad spot. His Rotom Heat has taken some damage, and he's going to have to be forced to bring out that Rotom Heat, as Matt is just going to be able to U-turn right out into his water, into the water that is in his house, into his Ludicolo, which is then going to be able to fire off a Surf, threatening this Rotom Heat out into what is an Electric Seed Hitmonlee, which is very, very, very good, cool on Ben's part, able to outspeed the Ludicolo, and unfortunately not pick up the KO, and then die to the Surf immediately afterwards. So, very cool set on Ben's part. I'm very sad to see it didn't work out. Sorry, Matt, I would have loved to see that Hitmonlee do work. I've run similar stuff. But, Hitmonlee's going to, or Rotom Heat is going to come out, wow, and Matt is going to be fearful and switch out into his, Pelipper. The miss is unfortunate, but it is resisted and it is rain nullified, so it wouldn't have done much. So very unfortunate. But Matt is now going to be able to pull that switch back into his Alolan Marowak, thus once being able to get up his rocks. And he's going to get crit by this Overheat, which is not going to end up mattering, as the second Overheat will still not kill him. And he is actually, instead of going to put up his rocks, he's going to Shadowbone for damage on this Rotom Heat, which is going to later allow his Tapu Koko to be able to win. So, once again, Overheat's going to come out on this Marowak, as Marowak is going to be able to pick up the kill versus this Rotom Heat with the Shadowbone, thus forcing out the Superior to finish it off with the Leaf Storm. However, that's perfectly okay. Matt is now going to be able to go out into his Ludicolo, which is still under rain, and is going to be able to weaken the Superior with the Hydro Vortex. There's a good amount of damage, telling us that he may be Scarf. Now this miss, let's talk about this miss for a second. I want to talk about this miss. This miss is very, very unfortunate on Ben's part. However, I'm not aware what the Superior is. Obviously, I'm not the one who played and not the one who got the team afterwards, if they decided to trade teams and everything. If this Superior was, let's say, Meadow Plate, I didn't calc the damage on Leaf Storm, so actually there was no way to calc the damage on Leaf Storm because it did 3% to an Alolan Marowak. So if this was like Meadow Plate or something along those lines, that's very unfortunate. However, Tapu Koko could finish it off at this point. And I'm pretty sure Scizor was out of range for a plus 200 power fire because it is under rain. If this is a Scarf Superior, Koko could not revenge it, as they would probably die to the plus 2 Leaf Storm. However, that would just mean Scizor could have just wall it all day and would have set up and won anyway. So, while it is very unfortunate that the Leaf Storm missed, it is not, in my opinion, super detrimental and did not make an outcome to the end of the game. So, Matt's going to finish this off with the Hydro Pump, making the Baller play instead of Ice Beaming, and I guess fearing Yachi Berry, and is going to die to the Quick Attack from the Mega Pincer. However, Matt is now able to bring out this Tapu Koko, as even if this is an adamant Mega Pincer, even if he crits, he's not going to kill this Tapu Koko with the Quick Attack, and Matt is going to be able to escape the 0-1 rut, and is going to be able to come out with a 3-0 win versus Chessban and the Rio Rufflets, and thus they both end 1-1. Matt specifically is now able to break even, and is hopefully going to be able to carry this performance further into later weeks with the momentum and be able to win more games and then maybe win the play championship. Who knows? I'm rooting for Matt because I'm not in it, so I have no one else to root for. So go Matt! Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little battle. I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary. It was very nice for Matt to allow me to come out here. I'm very happy to be able to swim in his ocean. I don't swim very often, so it's very nice for me to be out here. Very fitting that, of course, his ocean has the rain to back him up. Anyway, don't forget to answer the comment question of the day. Don't forget to tell Matt how much you love me, so I may come back again, and I will see you all maybe again Maybe not again. Who knows? I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.